While there have been dozens of ways to listen to music over the decades, only one nearly obliterated every other medium in just a few short years: the compact disc. While many believe that the CD was an invention of the late 80s or early 1990s, it goes back far further than that, with the music industry actually being a bit late to the game on that technology. Truth be told, modern CDs evolved from Laserdisc technology, and you can find prototype CDs as far back as the early 1960s. However, the sampling technology and algorithm behind CDs can be traced back nearly a century earlier than that to a number of different mathematicians. In around 1965, inventor James Russell brought the world the idea of optical digital recording, and both Sony and Philips began working on playback systems for this technology. In 1970, Dutch physicist Klaus Kopman developed the first prototype glass CD, and he read it with a laser, and about 2 years later, advanced versions started to appear at technology trade shows and electronics conventions. In 1978, Sony demoed what may be their most impressive prototype, as this version boasted a playing time of almost 150 minutes, yet strangely enough, this version would not become the standard. It was in 1980 when the CD really began to take its modern shape, as that was the year that the standards were laid down in the legendary Red Book, and only a few months later, Polydor gave its first press CD, quickly moving to larger production facilities. In 1982, Sony released the first ever pop album on CD, which happened to be Billy Joel's 52nd Street, and within 3 years of that, you have the development of CDRs as well as CD-ROM technology, and CD players start entering the consumer market, albeit at a very high price. Throughout the 1980s, CDs really began to pick up steam quickly as audiophiles ran to the idea of having a lossless playback system, as well as easier jumping between tracks. And in 1985, Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms record became the first album to sell 1 million copies on CD. In 1988, the price of CD players took a massive drop, and understandably, there was a huge upswing in CD sales. And by 1991, CD sales made up nearly 70% of physical media buying. As the 90s progressed, that number creeped higher and higher, with cassettes quickly becoming a thing of the past, and the vinyl market taking a massive tumble, which they continue to pull out of to this day. With the rise of digital music at the end of the 90s and early 2000s, CD sales began to balance out with other media. And over the past decade, each year has shown nearly a 20% decline in CD sales. Over the past few years, CDs have started becoming a bit of a novelty, with bands making very limited runs on CD, as vinyl continues to become the alternative to digital downloads. Yet the fact remains, due to its almost inexplicable dominance for the better part of a decade, there's no question that the idea of music on CD forever altered the way that people listen to music.